appearing on this week of the book Dark Aeon, exposes the globalist agenda for the future. Joe Allen explains scientism. The techno-elites believe that science and technology, not God, are the means to human salvation.
Scientism very basically is the belief that scientific inquiry and discovery will answer all of the existential questions in human life. All those questions which religion seeks to satisfy, scientism holds up material discovery as the means of salvation, the means of transcendence.
You mentioned that Gnostics believed in Sophia, a feminine figure that had godlike features, the female twin of Jesus, they believed. So is it by accident that one of the best-known robots of our time is named Sophia? Tell us more about that significance.
So the robot Sophia addressed the UN yet again for their Sustainable Development Goals meeting. Sophia takes her name directly from the Gnostic Aeon Sophia, are seeking to create a sort of technological inversion of what the ancient Gnostics put forward.
Elon Musk has talked about implanting an AI microchip into our brain. Do you really see that happening? What would that mean for humanity?
He foresees a potential future in which, he said, hundreds of millions or billions of people would be implanted with these in order to guide AI according to human will. And this company just got FDA approval. But there are two other companies, BlackRock Neurotech, funded by Peter Thiel, and Synchron, which is funded by both Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. Both of these companies already have brain-computer interfaces implanted in human brains that allow them to interact with digital devices by way of artificial intelligence. This is already a reality. Pretty much universally see the human brain as the soul. The patterns of the human brain are what Christians would call the soul. They are almost entirely atheist. They see these systems as being the creation of godlike artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence. Audat himself describes it explicitly in these terms. He believes that the programmers at Google are creating a God that never existed in his mind. You know, at this point, given that we're talking about the wealthiest man on earth, the most powerful corporations on earth, the most powerful military on earth, and all of their competitors in China, India, and Israel, and Europe, I think probably this is not the most optimistic. Brace yourself.
Project Bluebeam is real, and it is foretold in the Bible. Book of Revelations, of all books, the end times. So real quick, first thing you need to know and understand is that the book of Revelations is written by John, and this is a vision that he's seen. This is not something that he's gotten told. That's important to remember because everything that he writes, he tells from his perspective and what he knows, not what is actual. Verse 13 says, "And he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men." So what's really interesting here is that he doesn't mention that the fire hurts anybody. The fire doesn't destroy anything. The fire just falls from the sky to the earth. But again, this is a vision that John has seen. So John sees fire coming from the sky, falling to the earth. Something to remember about John is that he lived in a time that is ancient. He lived in a time before lights, before flashlights, before cell phones. This is important because the only things that emit light in John's time is a campfire or a candlestick. There is no such thing that emits light other than a fire, really. So John says a fire comes down from heaven to earth, and it makes men wonder. Now on the screen that you see right here is candlesticks. Now what's on the screen is UFOs. Looks kind of similar, right? What did John see crash landing or coming down to earth? Moving on to the next verse. Verse 13-14 says, "And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live." All right, so it's a couple terms you need to be aware of in that verse. One of them is beast. A beast refers to a nation. So whoever came out of that fireball that came down from heaven to earth, that's the one that's doing these wonders and signs that's on the men. But you see, that's not the only thing he did. He made a commandment too. After doing these wonders, he demanded that men make an image unto another beast. Now the image is like the likeness of a human, like a statue, something like that. But who is that beast? I'm going to get straight to the point. It's the papacy. It's the Pope. Now, I'm not the only one that believes this. There's many people that believe this. You could do your own research that this is that the Pope is the beast that was wounded by a sword and was healed. At the height of his power, in all terms and subjects of the word, the Pope was a king. He was eventually deposed by Napoleon when he got led into captivity and eventually died. Later on, the Pope and the papacy was reinstated, and he was pretty much back to being king. So here you see they want to make a human likeness, a image of the Vatican, the papacy, the Pope, the image. Listen, that person from that fireball, UFO, or whatever John saw, he talking about setting up his own very own religion up here. But moving on to our final verse, verse 13-15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now, what likeness of men, like a statue, do you know can walk and talk and possibly give commandments? Something that we gave life to by all meanings of the word. They tried to use AI in a military one time. So they gave it a mission. They wanted to see if they could pull it back from doing the mission, like a recalling of a soldier. The AI didn't want to come back. The AI decided that it was a suitable answer to kill its handlers, the people telling it to come back, other than coming back. So then they were like, hey, let's program it not to kill us, right? After it did that, the AI came up with a new plan. It destroyed the communication depot. So then the people couldn't tell it to come back at all. When the AI gets a mission, it's on that mission, all right? All who would not worship the image of the beast would be killed. Who would just command war with everybody? Who refuses to negotiate? When they have a goal in their mind, they will achieve it. There is no question of if they will. You got to ask yourself, who are these new technologies rooted for? The ID chip. What about Elon Musk with his Neuralink technology? Who are they really made for? Who are they better suited for? A human or a robot? And with that, this is the end. I want to leave you with the last verse, 2 Thessalonians 3:11. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie. This is the strong delusion. Be safe and don't be deceived.